Hello YouTube, it's Slate Warrior here with my new lighting source, and I would like to just quickly ask you guys a question before I get to this next video. So I've been, I've been opening a lot of packs recently, and in opening the packs, I've received a lot of cards that I need to sleeve, because they're good. So I was just wondering about the cards that I pull that aren't so good, like, all the commons and all the not playable cards, like the ones that aren't very good. Where do you guys store your commons? Where do you guys store your bulk, essentially? Where is the place that you guys put them? Do you throw them away or sell them immediately? Do you just put them in a tin and forget about them and store them in a drawer? I'd like you to comment down below about what you do, because I just, even like the cards, like, and then separately, where do you put the cards that are common that are still good? Like, I sleeve some of my commons that I think are, either I like them because, like White Dust On, I really like that card, even though it's not good at all. So I sleeved it. But then what about cards that are like Compulse here? Like, look, I've got a Compulse, okay? And it's just, a regular common Compulse. But then I've also got the Compulse that I would use if I made a deck out of, it's my secret Compulse, secret rare. So, I sleeve this one, but I just leave this one open. So basically, I want you guys to comment down in the comment section below, where do you store your commons? What do you do for common cards that are still good? Do you sleeve all of your hollows? And where do you store all of your cards? Alright, thank you and enjoy the following video. Hello YouTube, it's Slate Warrior here with today's actual discussion, and that is going to be on the meta placement of this card right here, Dark Hole. And the reason I want to talk about Dark Hole is because there are a lot of current decks that are topping that just aren't playing it. And I'm not talking about like individual players, I'm talking about like entire decks that just aren't playing Dark Hole. Like, for instance, you've got, obviously, Mythic Rulers. I got a Tidal here to represent them. They don't need Dark Hole, or, per se, so they don't play it. I wouldn't play Dark Hole and Mythic Rulers either. And there's other decks like control decks that say, they always have field advantage, so they just don't play Dark Hole. They feel like they don't never lose field advantage in order to use it. And the reason that I wanted to talk about this is because, as I said, like, I love talking about ban lists, and I want to talk about Dark Hole's potential to go to 2, which may sound crazy. I mean, Dark Hole's been banned before. Dark Hole has, been used in every deck before, and there was just no way that anyone would ever think about it going to, more than 1, being limited. And even like I'm thinking about it right now, I don't consider Dark Hole a card that you'd see 2 of in a deck. Like, it just seems like such a good, like, it's just such a power card. You know what I mean? It seems like a card that would just be a 1. It's got a really straight afford effect. Destroy all monsters in the field. So that's it. But is that even that good anymore? That's the question that I asked today. And where I want to start with this is using Dark Hole defensively. So when you use Dark Hole, normally it's when you have no monsters on your side of the field, and that's why it's at 1, because it's essentially Raigeki at that point. But when you're using it at that point, you're already pretty far down in advantage, unless your opponent went first and they just overextended and you Dark Hole their entire field. So because of that, Dark Hole is balanced at 1, because if your opponent overextends, you can punish them then if you happen to draw the Dark Hole. And it's a comeback card when both players are essentially top decking. If you top deck Dark Hole, your opponent had a really big field, that's good for you. You know what I mean? They've got few monsters and you have no monsters, so you go ahead and Dark Hole, and that makes it fair. But then there's Dark Hole offensively, when your opponent has, let's say, just 1 monster and a few cards in their hand, and they go ahead and, make a normal play, but you have Dark Hole, and you can OTK that turn, so you Dark Hole. And that is something that hasn't been happening that often, because Dark Hole's at 1, you don't draw very much. But if they go ahead and normal summon their 1 monster, or make a special summon 1 monster, let's say that's their opening play, they can go ahead and make a first turn Ophion, and let's say they got, I don't know, they decided to get Infestation Infection instead of Pandemic. So you dark hole them. They're down a lot. They're down at least 3 cards. 2 cards. So, in that regard, you're dark holing offensively because you're getting rid of their threat to go ahead and make a push. And then finally, there's the dark hole when both players have monsters on their sides of the field, and they decide to, one of the players decides to just wipe the board because they feel like they are at less of an advantage of their opponent. And that's where I really think that the possibility of dark hole to go to 2 diminishes because of this card right here, Beelze. Because Beelze, as you can read there, if this focuses, it's not going to focus. It says, cannot be destroyed by battle. I guess it's reversed for you guys anyway, but it says, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And because of that, and the really easy ways you can make this card, dark hole cannot go to 2, in my opinion. Now, I really want dark hole to go to 2. I think it would be a good experiment for our meta, but since Beelze is seeing some play in meta decks, Beelze with dark hole is powerful because, again, he has 3,000 attack, so you can just go ahead and swing for your 3,000 that turn. Now, the reason I even decided to make this discussion is because I was, thinking for a very long time, dark hole should go to 2. It's not being played in decks. You don't see it as often anymore, and it's not being used as a power card. It's being used defensively. So I'm thinking, why can't it go to 2? I mean, you're using it to defend against your opponent overextending. Seems like a card that could be at more than 1 now. But then I got dark hole Beelze. Then my opponent, went ahead and made their Beelze first turn. I made my field. Next turn, they top decked their dark hole, activated it, wiped my entire field. They had their Beelze to attack directly for 3,000. And because of that, it was a complete 180, in my opinion, just completely altered, and I decided that dark hole has to stay at 1. Now, back in the day, you'd think you've got dark hole and you've got cards that can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, or, weaker. They were weaker. The point is, Beelze is too strong with 3,000 attack. That's all I'm trying to say is Beelze being a 3,000 beater that cannot be destroyed by card effects specifically, because, dark hole is a card effect. Dark hole will never go to 2. In the past, there would be other cards that couldn't be destroyed by card effects, but they were weaker. Beelze is too strong. It's good. I'm not saying it's broken. Dark hole, Beelze, good combo. But dark hole is not broken. Beelze is not broken. They're just both good. Alright, so that's my discussion for today. I know it was kind of a little bit rambly, but I felt like I wanted to show off my, that I do have cards. I don't have no cards. I have cards in real life, and I felt like I should, go ahead and do another face-to-face sort of video so you guys can, familiarize with me. I feel like it's more of a social experience watching YouTubers that show their face on camera, and also I wanted to show off my new light. So, like this video if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to my channel if you are not already and you want to see more discussions like this, as well as pack openings, and duels, Dueling Network and DevPro. Favorite this video if you liked it that much, and go ahead and share this with all your Yu-Gi-Oh friends if you'd like, and I will see you later, YouTube.